4.5 minutes.
What's up, Gumbo Nation? We got a great show planned for you today. Glad you're hanging out with us. Yes, indeed. If y'all want to know, let me give y'all a quick view of what it's like to prep for this show. Let me see if I could get you to full studio. It's off. You can't see it all. It's the effort. We got Facebook checking in, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Big day today. Big day. Super stoked. Straight out of Araby, baby. My shirt's all crooked. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you checking in, man. Thanks a ton, bud.
All right, 1 minute.
All right.
Here we go.
Broadcasting to the Gumbo Nation for over 6 years, providing education and options to listeners throughout the Gulf Coast and across the nation. Mortgage Gumbo is brought to you live weekly by the Total Home Authority, Team Title, Tito's Handmade Vodka, Solar Alternatives, TWFG Biden Cough Insurance Group, The Fence King, Mosquito Joe, and 360 Home Inspections. Mortgage Gumbo is the leading authority for all things home related. So let's spice up that bowl of mortgage awareness with the man who is high in mortgage knowledge, yet height and hair challenged. Man who only knows how to put the client first. The true definition of a face for radio. Leader of the Gumbo Nation, Dwayne Stein.
What's cooking, Gumbo Nation? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. And I'm your host, Dwayne Stein, the Gulf South Mortgage Authority. And if you want to join the show, 504-260-0995. Or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. Or check us out on all the social media. The apps, Gregory Ricks is winning at Life app, the iHeartRadio app. If you're in and out during the day, social media is rocking this morning. We are filled up, so that is good to see. So on the show today, our educational piece, when we talk about for 6+ years, as the announcer says, of bringing you education and options, today we're talking about, as we're entering what's officially considered the spring and the home buying season. On the show today, we're going to talk about what is a gift. No. We don't, at Mortgage Gumbo, it's not about engagement gifts or wedding gifts or Christmas gifts, Valentine's, all that kind of stuff. No. What is a gift? In other words, cash, money, giving to a buyer to purchase a home in regards to down payment, maybe some closing cost, right? And then how does that gift work? How does it work with individual programs out there? Conventional loans versus govy loans or government loans. Who's eligible? And then, have you heard of a gift of equity? Huh? What? What is that? We do them all the time here. And I don't want to say all the time, but most people are they're not even aware of this. How many of you right now have people living with you and maybe you got a rental property and you want them out the house? Hey, call me. Let's look at doing a gift of equity. You sell them the house, you get them out of your house, and you move forward from there. So we're going to talk about what a gift of equity is as well on the show. We'll talk about Rate Watch, of course, and some other articles. But want to start the show. Hey, I told y'all last week that the show this week when I came in, hey, I turned 50. And on Tuesday, you know, I got to celebrate. I announced the Lakeshore Titans baseball games and football. But baseball, you know, I got to celebrate by announcing the seniors, right? So good seniors, Lakeshore, you know, over there. So not exactly what I wanted to do on my birthday, but it is what it is. So announced that. So took care of that, and that's it, really. Went home after, but when it started really on Monday. Monday night, I called my son. He's on the way home from practice. I leave the office. It's about 6:15, and I'm like, hey, man, you ate yet? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, well, I guess, I'm going to make my 15-year-old feel guilty. I'm like, I hear you, bro. I just wanted to go get something to eat with my boy for my birthday. He's like, well, your birthday's tomorrow. I'm like, well, that's a reality. That's true, right? You teach him not to lie, and, So he goes, all right, I only ate one spicy sandwich or something, which I know that's a lie. But anyway, so he goes, we can go somewhere and eat. And I'm like, I'm kind of feeling ribs, so I want to go over to this rib joint. And there's a place, in Mandeville that's got some ribs. So, but before we go there, we're going to stop by the sports store, because he needs some bat and gloves and a couple other things. So on my, birthday, I drop, $100 on him. Then we go to eat, and the place I want to go eat, he sees all the girls softball team and all of them getting out of the car, and he's like, we ain't going there. I'm like, well, why? He's like, sorry, Dad. I mean, if you want to, that's fine, but let's just not go there. So there's a story there that I've yet to get to. So we go over to Cracker Barrel, and, whatever. I don't know. Maybe it seems like it's better when you're traveling or something like that. But so he's like, Dad, you're going to be the youngest person in here. And he was right. I mean, I was, and I don't mind that. It is what it is. But, that's when I realized that, man, life's kind of changing. So what I wanted to do didn't matter, right? So we wound up eating, I had my mind set on ribs, and now I wound up getting some kind of some kind of casserole with chicken and all this stuff. Absolutely everything I did not want. So then go to the next day and come to work, and, they got the sign people out front's got happy 50th. I'm like, oh, that's cute. That's nice. They did that. I pull up, and, man, they must get out there early because I pulled up at work at like 6:15, and it was already out there. So I'm like, oh, that's cute, and then they baked the cake, right? They're like, hey, we baked the cake. We can't get everybody together, blah, blah, blah. And look, I'm simple. I don't expect anything. I ain't worried about that. We're so busy right now at Mortgage Gumbo. My whole thought process is let's just get these loans done and, get these people into their dream homes, get them refinanced, so I'm not thinking anything. So, ho-hum. Then the next day I come into work and, not thinking anything. Truly was surprised. But all my employees showed up from Baton Rouge area, Lafayette area, all around from the South Shore, North Shore, Mississippi, everywhere. And they threw a crawfish boil. And we had an awesome crawfish boil. It was super cool. We boiled crawfish. Of course, we worked in between because, duty first. But, man, it was just a great time. I've got folks that have been with me for a long time, a very long time, 12, 15 plus years, family. So lots of stories were being talked about, stuff that I even forget that, you realize you make an impression on people at certain times that you don't even know. So really cool there. And then that was it. Had a good day. Everything was fine. And then that afternoon went and had to go to a football meeting about what's going to happen with football in the fall and all that kind of stuff over at Lakeshore. So good stuff there. But everybody keeps going, man, what's 50 like? Is it different? What do you feel like? Here's what I'm learning. I don't look back like at, man, I wish I would have did this or I wish I'd have done that. It's funny because I start looking at like, all right, is all my financial stuff in order, right? So the Wes Blanches of the world, the Jude Heats of the world, the Gregory Rickses of the world, Nick Rody's, they get the phone calls over the last couple of weeks going, let's sit down, let's reevaluate everything and make sure I'm good. And, that's what I think's crazy about 50 years old, right? I mean, outside of the fact that 50, as the announcer says, height and hair challenged. I mean, the days of me being a shampoo model are over. The days of me, my, football career, baseball, making it to the big leagues. Unfortunately, those days are over. I guess if there's anything I could maybe go for at this point, I don't even think I could do like the axe throwing because my right arm's shot from all the baseball and catching and throwing wrong. And maybe there's a shot with this cornhole stuff. But then I got to have a good buzz, and then I start lighting it up with that. I don't know if that's going to be allowed into the Olympics. Or curling. I found this streaming channel that's some kind of curling channel, and it's on 24 hours a day. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't not watch it. And
Is it ESPN The Ocho?
Yeah. It's ESPN like 18 quadruple, So, but what I don't understand is I think I watch it because it's some kind of cool shoe on ice and a broom. And I'm like, I got to be able to, they call it a stone. I'm like, I've got to be able to do this. So, unfortunately, there's really nowhere to practice around here. But at 50, I'm thinking that's probably about all that's left because chances of a heart. So I guess I'm more than half of my life old, whatever. But it is what it is. So that's kind of my thoughts there. But shout out to all my staff. Hey, listen, all the clients, everybody else that sent me thank yous and happy birthdays, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. So, hey, when we get back on the other side of the break, we're going to start talking about what's going on with the home market. What are we seeing with the housing market? We're getting a housing bubble. I'm so sick of this, and I'm going to give you my take on that. And then, again, you don't want to miss the second half of the show today. We are talking about gifts. What are gifts, and how can you take advantage of it? You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
You could have. Do you play darts?
Yeah, that's true too. But do I have to start smoking? That's kind of.
No, that's another one where I'm an amazing dart thrower when I'm drunk.
Oh, dude.
When I'm sober, it's like, why is the board not moving? What's going on?
Right. Yes, I agree with that. Darts, that's a good one too. I like that, Emil. That's good.
One minute.
All right.
Here we go.
Welcome back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. Hey, if you want to join the show, 504-260-0995, or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. This segment's brought to you by The Fence King. Visit fencethisyard.com. 20 years experience, hundreds upon hundreds of 5-star Google and Facebook reviews. He has a one-of-a-kind virtual fence designer. He puts you in control with no high-pressure sales, offering tropical storm and hurricane posts. and his work always comes with a warranty. Visit FenceThisYard.com. Dan and his team, they are always on the cusp of new and inventive ways of fencing, and we're having a meeting this next week, and we'll be bringing that to you. So visit FenceThisYard.com. So, talking about last week, we talked about fast track. We talked about, why is a full approval, better than being pre-qualified? And this week we helped, more than a half a dozen people who got offers accepted using our fast track because they were able to go in and, write 15, 20-day contracts versus everybody else saying 30 to 45. Guess what? A good seller's agent knows that if you're asking for 45 days, there's probably something up, right? So no more, at least a half a dozen folks this week got accepted offers. Now, there's some other that are out there, but their first initial offer was taken because they were credit approved. I even had some seller's agents going, what is this? And when I told them, they were like, this is absolutely amazing. A couple of those seller's agents even sent me buyers after that. But what stinks about this is what happened on Wednesday when an agent that I work with had a friend, their CPA told them to go through a certain lender, and they did. And I get it. If you can't trust your CPA, who can you trust? Well, guess what? I don't know if this CPA is going to be sending over to this person anymore because they took not one, not two, 6 weeks to tell this buyer who had already given up their lease, this buyer who had already paid for movers, this buyer had already paid for contracts, who already paid for inspections, appraisals, and all that, took them 6 weeks to let them know that they weren't approved. When my initial review took 20 minutes. 20 minutes. But what did we do? We got their information. We got it over. We sent it up. We got it credit approved. And guess what? They're now going to be out looking this weekend with a credit approval, what's called fast track. So there's no more guesswork. These people spent thousands of dollars. They're now homeless. Luckily, the agent has somebody that a lease just opened up that they're going to be able to live in for the next 30 days until they're able. But the seller, rightfully so, got rid of their house. And here we are. And I kind of had mentioned this one a couple weeks ago. And lo and behold, here they are. They came to me. Now we're getting it done the right way. Buying agents, seller agents, clients, listeners, make sure before you go out there, do yourself the due diligence and get yourself fast-tracked. Get yourself credit approved. You have to. If you do not, you're looking for some pain ahead. Possibly. Sometimes a blind squirrel finds a nut and everything works out. But don't get forced into the calling somebody, hey, I need a pre-approval letter. Last weekend, somebody called, hey, I need a letter. I'm like, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I need an application at least. And lo and behold, guess what? They're a 598 score, and they're out looking for $600,000 houses. Well, I have the income, but that's not how it works. It's just not how it works. So do yourself, you're buying a home. This isn't a car dealership that you walk into and they go, yeah, well, we'll make it happen. But, go visit our friend Guido over here and sign up and, you're going to pay the piper for it. No, you're buying a home. So let's do a little bit of legwork up front. Like I said, within 48 hours, we can have you walking around knowing that you are approved. We give you a certificate that's equivalent to almost being like cash. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. And I want to say that when it comes to refinances, I get questions all the time. Hey, is it too late? Absolutely not. Rates are in a great position right now. Head scratching, actually. Because if you've got interest, if you've got all this inflation we're hearing about on TV, gas prices are up, everything's opening back up. Why have rates kind of receded a little bit? Which is a good thing. But I can tell you right now, okay, reported last week an estimate of 1 out of every 8 homeowners, 12% with a mortgage, refinanced their mortgage within the last 6 months. 1 out of 8, 12%. That means that leaves a lot of you who, now, some of you may have a free and clear, but here's what I'm telling you I'm seeing right now. There's still a lot of people out there with 4% or higher, and even more so what I'm seeing is cash out. People are staying in their homes. Existing home sales, it's crazy when you look at the tail of the tape. Existing home sales are way, way down. And we've been talking about this for a long time here on Mortgage Gumbo and telling you that if you love your home, and if you love your neighbors, people are staying there. But existing home sales are way down. Way down. Whereas new home sales, that's what people want. People want new. People want new homes. So when you're looking at this, and the reason being is because people are like, I'm going to stay where I'm at. So if you've been in that house, we locked in so many people this week. And when we cover it, you're going to see. I mean, the 15-year, I told y'all, the Fed's buying up all the treasuries, all the bonds when it comes to in the mortgage-backed securities, right? So that means they're controlling what they want the rates to be, and they're pointing you in the direction of where they want you to go. And right now, they like 15-year terms. They like it. And a lot of folks that we're locking in this week, I had folks getting cash out, 3%, even lower. That's going to depend on your loan to value, but there's opportunity there. So do not think, oh, you missed it. No. Do not think that. Take advantage of it. See if refinancing's right for you. Okay? This doesn't have to be just, and this is why, gosh, and I tell y'all this, I mean, there's so much stuff I think about it. I'm told every day I should just put a camera in my office and just let y'all, I mean, legally I wish I could, because if you could hear just the questions that I answer all day long of people being misled or misinformed. And it's some of you out there. And it really, really just stinks. Because so many people don't get the full picture. They don't get advised. I'm a certified mortgage advisor. They're just order takers. And so many of these schmucks came into the business last year, and, you know, you're looking at a number on a piece of paper that looks good, but could we have paid off some debt? Could we have done some other things? But right now, I could tell you, cash out refinances, hey, look around your house. Are there some things you want done? Do you have equity? Have you been in your home 10, 12 years? 5 years? Do you know it's your forever home? Let's see if 15 years is affordable for you. If it's not your forever home, we're not going to do 15 years. Or I'm going to recommend that you do a 30-year. Let's get the lowest possible. But if you want money to fix it up because you know you're going to be selling it in 3 or 4 years to get it a little modernized, let's do it. But right now, 15 years is what they are pushing. Let's get into our weekly segment we like to call Rate Watch. Rate Watch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. It's America's first handcrafted vodka. This week, 30-year conventional. Last week was at 3.18. This week's at 3.12. Okay, so just in the month of April, it's fallen from 3.32 to 3.12. That's 20 basis points. 15-year. Last week was at 2.63, 2.55. That's almost 10 basis points. That's what I'm telling you. They're looking at, that's what they like right now. That's fallen 25 basis points since the beginning of the month. FHA's at 2.62, down from 2.67. Jumbo, 3.32 is at 3.20. The 5-1 ARM is at 2.45. And then VA continues to be in the mid to upper sixes. twos. Take advantage. Take advantage. That is my point when it comes to interest rates. Right now is a perfect time to be buying or refinancing. You've hit the lottery. You've hit the lottery. Take full advantage of that. On the other side of the break, we get into our topic, what is a gift? Stay tuned. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein on iHeartRadio, 504-260-0995.
There without a second to lose, and what comes next? Hey, bust the move.
All right, 4 minutes.
All right, pimp. Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. They're not going down.
Uno minuto.
Uno momento.
Baby got ballet feet with the open booty.
We're back. Whoa. I guess that's what turning 50 does. We're back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. If you got a question, 504-260-0995, or you can shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. We're going to be talking about what is a gift. Hey, listen, I'm a lender. That means I help you get into your dream home, refinance, construction loans, reverse mortgages. So give me a call during my day job, 504-207-7600. I'm a certified mortgage advisor. My job is to advise you, or visit mortgagegumbo.com. Just got a great question into the inbox that asks, Dwayne, I've purchased a home. How long before I can refinance? Okay, listen, they didn't list what kind of loan it was, but that is a great question. So a few things. If you want cash out, usually what's going to happen there is, let's say you put down a whole bunch of money or something like that, and you want to recoup your money. Normally what you're looking at is about 6 months they're going to ask you to wait. Now, I'll give you the numbers in a second, because I looked them up during the break just to confirm for you. But what they're going to do is they're going to either take the sales price or appraised value, whichever is lower, right? They're not going to let you go have it reappraised. So just note from that standpoint. On conventional loans, you're usually looking at, it's going to be 6 payments. They want to see that you've made at least 6 payments. So keep in mind what happens when you do a refinance or a purchase. Usually skip 1 month, right? Or you pay out that interest, the per diem for 1 month, so they could start the payments on the 1st. So with conventional, it's right at 6 months. FHA, it's 210 days. All right. VA, same thing. VA, you have to make sure they've made at least 6 payments or 210 days. Okay, on VA. And in rural development, they got to be in the house for at least 1 year. Okay, at least 1 year, and they've had to make on-time payments for the last 180 days. All right, because they want to make sure that you're just not reflipping these things and people are taking advantage, because that's a 100% program. So great question there in regards to what are your times before you can refinance. And again, hey, if you got more questions, you want to know, how can I refinance? Should I refinance? We've got the greatest spot ever for you. It's called SnapSendAndSave.com. Dozens upon dozens are still using this thing weekly. SnapSendAndSave.com, whether it's purchases or refinance. For purchases, we even have now, check a box that says you want to be fast-tracked. And then what we do is we begin the fast-track process. We let you know what your buying power is and then go from there. This segment's brought to you by Solar Alternatives, the Gulf South's leader in solar, battery backup, and energy management, serving Louisiana and Mississippi homeowners since 2008. Sleek, retro, clean. We had a party in the back of the office. Guests were coming by and they're like, my gosh, those are fine looking. I'm like, that's the new panels. So visit Solalt, SOLALT.com. Reduce electricity costs, cover yourself during power outages, and then also ask them about, like I did when it comes to taxes, the tax breaks. Visit Solalt, SOLALT.com. All right, our main topic today is gifts, not wedding, not all that other stuff. What we're talking about is a gift when it comes to a loan. So what is a gift? I like to say it in my terms. It's basically cash. It's money, not officially. You're not handing over cash, but it's money that is given as a gift, okay? Not a loan, as a gift. I want to be clear on that. There can't be any kind of promise to pays or IOUs or anything like that. All right? So it is a gift. It's not a loan given to someone for the purposes of a down payment or helping with closing costs or something like that. Okay? So when you're looking at it, how does that work? All right? Well, let's start off when you're looking at government loans, FHA, VA, even rural development loans, okay? You have to complete a simple gift letter, okay, which we provide. We provide it. It has your loan number on it, all this kind of stuff. Now, when it comes to government loans, who can the gifts come from? It can't come from the dude you just met that you're cool with, or your guy you play every Wednesday night you're playing poker with. drinking a couple beers with. Okay? When it comes to FHA, VA, or rural development loans, you're looking at it has to be a family member. Okay? All right? Now, it can be your employer, right? For my employees, all of y'all, don't get any ideas. Don't come to me for no gift. Okay? It can be a close friend, but it has to be clearly defined and documented. I'm reading verbatim here. Interest in the borrower. So maybe somebody that you've been dating for a little bit, right? Something like that. And I'm going to get into what a family member is in a second. A charitable organization. Sometimes we get gifts from folks for, that's a church. And they present a gift. Okay? And then it also says, hey, a government agency, that's when you're doing grants or gift programs, blah, 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 those type of things. Which I've got my own opinion. We do these, and one day we're going to talk about why, because agents, you're not doing, let me just take 1 second. You're not doing your folks a favor by seeing if you could get them grant programs. Because the rates are through the roof on those. They're set up a certain way. And they actually get less house. But that's a whole different thing. So when it comes to gifts and when you're looking at, for FHA, what is a family member? Okay? Well, it's a child, a parent, or grandparent. We have somebody right now where a child is gifting their parent a gift so they can buy a home. Okay? So a child is a son, stepson, daughter, or granddaughter, stepdaughter. A parent is a grandparent. That can include a step-parent, even a foster parent. Other family members are a spouse or domestic partner. Hey, they could be an adopted son or daughter. Even if it was somebody that was placed with you through adoption, that's fine. Foster child, brother, stepbrother, sister, stepsister, uncle, aunt, son-in-law, brother-in-law, father-in-law, mother-in-law, brother-in-law, or sister-in-law of the borrower. So the biggest thing there is just making sure it's got to be a family member, someone close when it's coming to the government loans. Okay? And then we've got to document that relationship only if it's considered a close friend. Right? If it's considered a close friend. Because they're going to dig in a little bit on who is this close friend. Right? Because nobody believes in the good of other people anymore. So how do you use it, right? Well, let's get into conventional first. So conventional, same exact things. Now, with government loans, I want you to understand this. A lot of investors, a lot of you go to these schmuckatelli lenders out there, and what happens is you go to them and they tell you, well, you got to have an X amount of score before you can get a gift. Not with us at Mortgage Gumbo. Why? That's right, I hear you saying it, because you deal directly with the government service entities like Ginnie Mae, Fannie Mae, and Freddie. That's right. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. Yeah, you've been listening. So if you go somewhere and they're like, oh, your credit score don't qualify for you to get a gift, think of Mortgage Gumbo. Because we don't have any. Hey, we had one done. We did a 590, and the people needed a gift, and we got it for them. So conventional loans, it's the same thing. Conventional loans, the friend part is a little bit more lenient when it comes to that on conventional loans. But it's all the same. And listen, I don't know if anybody out there was just going to go, here's some money. So when it comes to who can give the gift, basically think of family or somebody very, very, very close. Maybe a roommate, maybe something like that. Long high school friend or something. Okay? And then there is a gift letter that is presented with the loan that is filled out. Then, if it's government loans, The person that is giving that gift, so if Dwayne is giving Johnny a gift, or Dwayne's giving Gavin, we're down the road and Dwayne wants to give Gavin a gift, and it's a FHA, VA, or RD loan, then Dwayne, when that money, he gives that gift over, he is going to have to show where that bank account came out. And look, I know that's where a lot of people get a little iffy. Well, I don't want him to see my bank account. We're not worried about if you're drinking at Starbucks, this and that. But that is required when it comes to the government loans. They may want to see the bank account. Okay? Or the option I love most is we have them wire the funds directly to the title company that we're closing with. That's especially great when it's conventional because then there's no questions asked. Dwayne sends the money directly to the title company. The title company confirms it. They put it on the loan estimate, on the closing disclosure. We provide it to the investor, to the underwriters, and voila, we're good. Then we don't have to worry about, when you're looking at the conventional loans, we don't have to worry about, hey, why'd you have this hotel bill on a Wednesday night? Just joking. But those are the things there. We make it very simple. But a gift is a great way. How many of you right now didn't even know that that is an option? There's options for you. So a gift is something that we see quite a bit right now for folks who are moving into these houses. And it could be used in numerous ways. Numerous ways. So take advantage when you can of the gifts, especially when it comes to FHA and conventional loans. On the other side of the break, here's one that a lot of people aren't aware of. We're going to talk about what is a gift of equity. What is a gift of equity? So set your VCR, set your DVRs, whatever they are. Press record on your tape recorder because we got good stuff here. A lot of you might have houses that, hey, maybe you can help out a family member. You win, they win, everybody wins. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. 504-260-0995.
Why you got a hotel bill on a Wednesday night? You jackass.
Well, I don't want to provide that.
That's great. Dude, like sometimes when people call the station, it's like, okay, what's your name and your phone number? Oh, I don't want to give that.
Right.
Like, we're not going to announce it on the air.
Right. A guy called me, sent me an email yesterday, and he's like, yeah, I know you got that site, help, fix, and give or something like that.
Duck, dodge, dip, and deep.
Yeah. He's like, my name's such and such, and my house is worth X, and I got a 780 score. What can you do for me, but do not run my credit? I'm like, sir, I don't have any information on you, and we don't run. I got to be the only lender in America because obviously with the listeners and everything like that, I mean, I get people who just they go to mortgagegumbo.com, they put in the application, and boom, it's there. But I will not just run credit like most lenders will because they're trying to go, hey, look, I got an app, or I don't run it until I speak to people.
Yeah, right.
Because, dude, let's find out if we can help you. Let's see, like I had one this week, and they were like, well, I'm just excited. You were talking about the fast track. I want to get ready. So I'm like, send me over your credit. So we're fixing their credit first, right? Before I just go run, a bunch of stuff on them. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I really, dude, I just legally, I don't know how I'd be able to do it. But, I mean, if I just recorded the question, like I said, yeah. I mean, 95% of my day is spent fixing just misleading information.
Ouch.
And the other 5% is telling people how much we can help them. And then, obviously, after we give them the right information, we help them. But
Right. Well, all right, 10 seconds.
Yep. Hit me with the 2-1.
Yes, sir.
We're back. You're listening to Mortgage Gumbo with Dwayne Stein right here on iHeartRadio. 504-260-0995. If you're interested in, still got one segment left to go. But, hey, if you want to talk to me doing my day job right now, 24/7, we have people available to speak to you, to get your information. 504-207-7600. Or you could visit mortgagegumbo.com or shoot an email to info@mortgagegumbo.com. So our educational piece this week, as this show is all about education and options, and our audience is growing because we just call it like it is, but our job, regardless if you use us or not, is to make sure that you are educated when it comes to your most valuable asset, your home. So what we're talking about right now is gifts. How do gifts work when it comes to purchasing a home? So we've covered what is a gift. We've covered how the gift works, right? You could send it straight to the title company. You could give it. You got to fill out the letter, use it for down payment, maybe help out with some closing costs. And then we're going to talk about what is a gift of equity, okay? What is a gift of equity? And so definition-wise, that's when someone sells a property to a family member or close associate. Could be somebody that they're close with, maybe somebody that's been renting, maybe somebody that's been living in the house. Maybe they had a bond for deed. How many of you are in bond for deeds that want to get out, maybe want to stay in that house, and you've worked out something with the seller? Well, that's what a gift of equity is, okay? And the gift of equity is done because the house is the house is sold for lower than what market value is. So the house appraises for $150,000, but you sell it to them for $100,000. Now, let me be clear on this. We have to make sure that house is either free and clear, or in most cases it's not. It's very simple. It's very simple. We just need to get the payoff of that house like we would if you were selling it to a regular person, not a family member, not doing a gift of equity. So think about it this way. If you, listener, are selling a house to a family member or someone you know, and you want to sell it to them below market value, right? It's got to be somebody very close to you. That's why we don't mind doing them, because we get it. So if that is the case, well, then that's the only way you're going to sell below market value, especially in this market, right? It's a seller's market. Well, then you're going to let us know, hey, I need to get $100,000 out of this home, and then it's worth $150,000. Well, then you're going to give them $50,000 as a gift of equity. So in that case, it would be more than 20%, blah, blah, blah. So when we writing up the contract's written up for, you're selling it to them for $100,000. But the client's down payment is going to be, right, whatever that gift is that you're giving to them. Let's say it's 20%. Then on top of that, you could also give them closing costs. That is why the gift of equity is amazing. And I know it's very confusing. And that's why when you're thinking about it or you're unsure, we help you write the contract. And usually with the gift of equity, we tell you, let's get it appraised first, because either the seller thinks it's worth more than what it really is, or we got to make sure what that amount is, right? Because that's what we're working off of. We're going to work off of what that value is. Then that's where we get the official appraisal done, right? Then we sit down and we go, okay, here's what it is if you put down X. Because then the seller can go, all right, hey, it's valued at this. Listen, it's a gift. The seller and you kind of, once we get the appraisal, we usually let y'all go in a closed room, go talk about it, come back to us and let us know. Now, we'll help you with that, but we want to make sure that that is done that way. Now, the seller could turn around. You pay for that. That appraisal gets done. You turn around. Hey, the seller can include that. And most of the time what happens in this situation is the seller not only gives you the down payment, but they give you the closing cost as well. And we'll help set it up that way. Because we may go, hey, now every situation like that doesn't happen where somebody's got 20%. Sometimes they got 5%. But you know what? It's a family member that's getting a house below market value. The great thing about that is usually they know about the house. They trust the house. They trust the seller. Still recommend you get the inspection. But it's a win for everybody there. So a gift of equity is a great way. If you are right now, hey, holding on to these properties and you're looking to sell. My gosh, y'all saw what the stock market did this week when Biden talked about the hikes on capital gains. Might want to really, if you didn't, you might want to go look into that because it might be time to sell houses now, that's for sure. But it doesn't have to be. I want to make sure I'm clear on this. I just got an email. Does the gift of equity have to be 20%? No, it does not. You don't have to have a 780 FICO score. We can do them on an FHA loan. Maybe it's only 3.5% down. So it does not have to be 20%. We can maybe look at doing it for you where it's 5% or 10% down. Use the gift to buy out your mortgage insurance. That's why we normally want to see the appraisal first, because then we can start dialing it in for you and making it where it's beneficial for the seller and for you. I mean, if it's free and clear, yeah, it could be the entire gift. Now, what I get asked a lot of times is, well, hey, can I get cash out from that? No, you can never get cash when it's a purchase, ever. I just want to be clear on that. That's a refinance. So, no, you can't get cash from a gift of equity.
2 minutes.
Okay? So I just want to make sure that we're clear on that, because I get asked, well, hey, how do I get cash out of this? Now, if you and the seller work something out on your end, and I don't know anything about it, that's between y'all. Wink, wink. But you can't get cash. It's not going to say, hey, $100,000, pay off Johnny Mortgage Company, $20,000 for home improvements. No, that's not going to happen. Okay? And all we do is simply qualify you for the loan based on, it's just like as if you came up with that money yourself. It is a win for everybody. A win for everybody. And it saves the buyer money, and it helps the seller get rid of a property to someone they care about, someone they cherish, and can move a property. So it's a win across the board.
1 minute.
So you have a lot of options, folks, when it comes to gifts. So, hey, if you want to check this out, visit mortgagegumbo.com. Click on past shows. Also, visit snapsendandsave.com. Snapsendandsave.com. Remember that site. The other words are fast track. When you go in there, call, ask. I'm a lender. I make dreams come true. That's why we ask you to visit mortgagegumbo.com. And if you want to reach me doing my day job, 504-207-7600.
30.
My monthly segment with Gregory Ricks is today. I'm super excited, so tune in. Obviously, you'll be listening to him, Hall of Fame financial advisor, but I'll be on in just 1 hour, so stick around. Till next week, Gumbo Nation, keep stir